Okay, we're going to convert degrees to radians, and only those degrees that are on the unit circle. And we're going to do this without a calculator because you'll be required to do this on your unit exam. So next one. So we're going to start with the 30-degree angle, and it's the reference angles for 30 degrees, 150 degrees, 210 degrees, and 330 degrees. By now we've already worked on the unit circle, and you already know where these degrees are located, and we've already a little bit talked about this. So we're just going to convert this to radians, and all of these we're just going to multiply this by pi over 180. Now, instead of using a calculator, and basically this is over 1, by the way, instead of using a calculator doing it normally, what we're going to do is we're going to say how many 30 degrees are in 180 degrees. And there's 6. Leave the pi on top. And how many 30 degrees are into 30 degrees? 1. So there's the 1 there. I'm not going to put, you can put the 1 there, but I'm going to erase it because that doesn't look good. Alright, so for the 150 degrees, we're going to multiply by pi over 180. Now, we already know that there's 6 30 degrees in 180. How many 30 degrees are in 150? Right, 5. So that's going to be 5 pi. So all of these here are going to be something pi over 6. Because when you multiply by pi over 180, there's always 6 30 degrees into 180. So all we have to do is fix the numerator up. How many 30 degrees are in 210? 7. How many 30 degrees are in 330 degrees? And that would be 11. So you just put 11. So we just converted all the degrees to radians when the angle, the reference angle for these degrees is 30 degrees. We're going to do the same thing for the 60 degrees. We're going to multiply everything by pi over 180. And then we're going to ask ourselves how many 60 degrees are in 180. There's 3. And we're going to keep doing this, so our denominator on all of these are going to be 3. Pi is going to be in the numerator. And then you just ask yourselves, how many 60 degrees are in 60? That's 1, so we'll just leave that the same. How many 60 degrees are in 120? There's 2 of them. How many 60 degrees are in 240? There's 4 of them. How many 60 degrees are in 300? There's 5 of them. The same thing with the 45 degrees. And multiply by pi over 180. And you're going to ask yourself, how many 45 degrees are in 180? Well, there's 2 in 90, so there's going to be 4 in 180. You put the pi, and there's 145 degree angle with 145. So all of these are going to have 4 in the denominator. And all you have to do is ask yourself, how many 45 degrees are in 135? So that would be 3. How many 35 degree angles how many 45 degree angles are in 225? That would be 5 of them. And how many 45 degree angles are in 315? That would be 7 of them. Notice that these are like 1, 3, 5, and 7. Okay, the 90 degree angle types do not have a reference angle, but we're going to do the same thing. So when we multiply by pi over 180, this is clearly just 0. Or 0 times pi equals what? 0. Okay, the 90. Now then we're going to do the same thing. How many 90 degree angles are in 180? 2. How many 90 degrees are into 90? 1. How many 180 degrees, how many 90 degrees are in 180? 2. How many 90 degrees are in 180 here? 2. So you get 2 pi over 2, which equals pi. Multiplied by pi over 180. We already know the denominator is going to be 2. How many 90 degree angles are in 270? That would be 3. Multiply 360 by 180. How many 90 degree angles are in 180? That would be 2. How many 90 degree angles are in 360? That would be 4. So we're left with 2 pi when we reduce this. You reduce this, you get that. And that's how easy it is.